You're listening to This Week in Property. Stay current, relevant and up to date in the world of property investment. Learn from the UK's leading property professionals and grow your property business.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Property. I'm your host Richard Swan, and if you're listening to the show just now, well, you can also look into the show because we're doing one of our specials. We've got a special video podcast today, so if it's safe to do so, then go to thisweekinproperty.com and you'll see the beautiful face of my guest today. If of course you're driving at the moment, that's fine. You know, just carry on listening and you can hook back in later on. Oh, there you're there. There you go. You've dialed in. Fantastic. Welcome. Now, why are we doing it? Why we get the video podcast, Richard? Well, we're on the theme that we've been running of the Property Pros Spotlight. And I've got a special guest in today into our new salubrious PMW offices, Mr. Laurie Duncan. Hello, Laurie.
How you doing, sir?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the new home. You've been in, of course.
Yep.
We had you just in at the weekend there.
Yep.
For one of the days of our big get-together for the protege people. Did you enjoy that, first of all?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Top class.
Great seeing some people in the flesh and all the people you've been working with, some of them as well, of course.
I think it's another level having all these people together. Just the chat between breaks as well as the content that was provided. Absolutely top class.
Brilliant. Yeah. Good stuff. Now, we are going to chat about all the stuff you're doing just now. Mm-hmm. Because like the theme is, what we're doing, but we're bringing these pros, people who are in the trenches, doing the deals day after day, and it's the perfect thing for listeners to hear. Yeah. Because, you know, there's so many people who are interested in property, interested in investing in general, to be honest. You know, they, for example, just to kind of go off on a tangent, our director, Paul McFadden, on stage recently, Robert Kiyosaki, big massive event. Yeah. That's the classic book. You know, the whole rich dad, poor dad thing. That quadrant of someone in the office and they're, what the hell am I doing? I need to learn to be an investor, or I need to learn to be a business owner. These different parts of these quadrants, and of course, listeners, viewers, if you have not read this book, this game changer, isn't it? Really, Definitely. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Definitely. Make sure you do that at some point, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. Because getting someone like you to see you, to listen to you, like, right, so he's doing that. Oh wow. Oh, there's that amount of profit in such a day. Oh, it's great inspiration, it's great encouragement, it's a great example for other people to listen to, and it's a great thing to listen to and, you know, tune into. So we'll do that, we'll dive into that. Sure. And in fact, you've already kind of presented that story almost, because you were on stage with us recently at the Jumpstart in Glasgow, big Jumpstart event, and you spoke about, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm up to, fantastic. But before we get to that, if you came off that stage at that point, and I know there was a lot of people wanting to talk to you and stuff. Yeah. If someone grabbed you and says, that was brilliant, I loved hearing what you were doing. What the hell did you do before this? You know, what's your story? Because I loved hearing what you were doing, but I don't know if that's for me. You know, I'm in such and such a job, or my home life is such and such a thing. How the heck did you get there? How did you get to that point that you're on stage talking about it? What's the Laurie beforehand?
Aye, so I'll go back to 2006, I think it was. Left high school.
Left high school, right.
Went to do an HND in multimedia design and technology.
Ooh, which was, that sounds very fancy.
Sounds cooler than it is, I think. That was a lot of kind of like programming and web design and graphics and that type of stuff. You know,
nice
I left school to do that because I really didn't know what I wanted to do.
Was it like that? Was it right? Okay.
I mean, I never had any kind of direction. I didn't really like school and stuff. You know, I did okay up until like fourth year, and then fifth year it just kind of, you know, I lost interest.
That was my year. I did well in fourth year, and fifth year everything collapsed.
I think it was when I turned 17. You know, that was just the age, and I just lost interest. And you know, I don't know. I wanted to leave school, and my youngest big brother, he was at the Glasgow College of Building and Printing, doing this same course.
Right.
And I think he and my mum had kind of said, look, we should maybe try and get Laurie into this just so he's doing something, you know.
Right. So need to talk to this black sheep of the family.
Absolutely. So my brother managed to get me a place in this course. So I left school at the end of fifth year, and then I studied there for a couple of years, got the HND, and then the plan after that was to go to uni. And you changed your course and you went into a specialism for the third year at uni, and then you did a couple of years at uni, and then that was you were qualified.
Right.
But after, I mean, college was fine, you know, they do a lot of hand holding and stuff, you know, they really helped us through that course. But then when it got to uni, it was like, right guys, you're on your own. You're in a big lecture theatre, you know, however many 100 folk were in there.
Right.
And you just had to listen, take notes, and do all this work in the background, you know, and
Right.
that just wasn't for me.
No, really?
I think I got maybe 6 weeks into uni, and then I decided I'm going to leave, you know.
Wow.
And but again, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just had lost interest in this multimedia thing. The course was great to learn about kind of general like IT stuff. You
Right,
know,
okay.
like how to use computers and things, you know. I'm quite clued up on that just because of that course.
Right.
But really, yeah, I lost interest in all of that. I just wanted to start working. I just wanted to earn some money.
Right.
But I must have only been about maybe 19, something like
Okay.
that, you know. After that, a couple of call centres and stuff like I think as you do when you're that age. And I think I got to about 21.
Right.
And I just needed a break from everything I was kind of doing, and I decided I was going to go to Ibiza for the summer.
Oh,
Because
come on.
I've always wanted to be a superstar DJ.
Uh-oh.
And I secretly still do a little bit, but
Yeah,
I'm kind of over that, you know.
Is that still there? Oh, no.
I prefer to produce music actually rather than DJ now. In fact, if you go on Spotify, you can check out some tracks. But
Is that right,
they're
really?
all crap, like, you know. But I wanted to have the experience of making them, putting them online and stuff, you know.
Brilliant.
So anyway, I went over to Ibiza for the summer in 2005.
Right.
And I was working for Carl Cox doing some
What?
promotion
Seriously?
and stuff.
Oh my
it was
God.
really cool. And that's really what I wanted to kind of be doing, you know.
Right.
Yeah, part the job was really just handing out leaflets, but you know, you got a bonus if like double your wage for that week if you got most folk in the door, you know. So you had to, you know, we met every morning and you're writing your initials on all the flyers, and whoever got the most flyers in, you know, you got this bonus, double your wage, which I think was like 150 euros a week, but you got 300 euros, you know, if you got the most in. So that was the summer, but as it happened, I ended up doing quite well in that, and every week, I think it was a 12-week event promotion we were working on. There was only 1 week that I never got this bonus, you know.
Seriously?
So I didn't have, I was never into sales or anything. I didn't really know I was into sales or whatever at that time, you know. But
Right.
I was incentivised, and I done all right at that, you know.
Yeah, that's fantastic. This is funny
so-
because me knowing you now, all
Yeah.
these, you know, the marketing, the branding, the closer, the negotiator, this
Aye,
all makes sense.
It does, and it's funny to look back and talk about it, because that was really the first kind of time I ever had I knew if I did a little bit more, then I was going to get a bit more back, you know.
could see the results.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Aye,
That's
so-
interesting.
Aye, so that was 2005. Came back from Ibiza in the October, and then I started working in a full-time job. It was an office job,
Right.
oil and gas industry stuff.
Right.
But I was just like the T-boy, and you know, sending faxes as it was back then. Don't know if they've got fax machines anymore, but I was learning the office environment and just answering the phone and making the teas and sending the faxes.
Right.
And I just started working, and I ended up getting into a sales role. But
Still a bit directionless, would you say?
oh,
Were you just kind of, I'll take this and I'll learn?
I was just like, I just wanted to have money so I could go and
Right.
live my own life, and
Yeah.
I didn't really have any kind of, there was no strategy, there was no
Aye.
focus, there was nothing.
This career thing?
No, nothing like
Just
that.
wasn't there,
It was
right,
just
okay.
like, I was learning the office environment, ended up being like office administrator or whatever it was, and then it was like, sales office
Then it went
guy, and
sales.
then it was sales manager, then it was area manager or whatever, and actually I still work for that same company.
Wow.
But so I still have a full-time job just now.
Yeah.
But I work from home now, and
Right.
I cover Scandinavia as a business development role for
Wow.
this Italian company.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Ah, there you go. I
aye.
did not know this
No,
about this.
aye,
Is brilliant.
aye.
Because obviously, full disclosure, I know
Yeah,
you.
aye,
You know,
aye.
you've been through the whole Property Project program with us, and we talk a lot on
Yeah.
our weekly Zoom calls and stuff. But there's always stories behind people.
Totally, aye.
Because you kind of get to know every single person to that degree. That's fascinating, right? Okay.
Aye, so that's how I kind of got into, I suppose, into an office and then into sales. And over the years, I started getting a bit more kind of hunger for
Right.
the sales thing and drive and making profit and all this kind of thing. And now I absolutely love it. You know, I can't get enough of making profit. You know, but Yeah, so that kind of brings me to where we are now. Nothing to do with the kind of property stuff yet, but you know that was my younger life and
Interesting.
brings me where.
And so you're still in that job? Do you still enjoy that job? Do you still like that job?
Yeah, aye. It's got its pros and cons.
Of course,
you know?
like everything. Yep.
But
I think that's good for folk to hear.
Aye.
Because it's like, oh, do I need to go and jump ship?
Yeah.
Because I really like this job, Richard. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, me personally, I was exactly the same. I loved the job that I was in at that point that I started looking at property. But again, it's back to that rich dad, poor dad, that whole quadrant
Totally,
thing.
aye.
I can be this person. I can be either the E or the S, as we both know, employed or self-employed. But I can still launch a business.
Aye.
I can still launch this investment arm.
Definitely.
So if someone is listening in, you don't need to give it up. If you do want to give it up, go for it.
Yeah.
But if you're in something that you love and you get a fulfillment from it, a passion from it, whatever it is, keep it.
Yeah.
But be sensible and learn how to manage your own money, learn how to invest your own money, learn how to build your family's wealth and have this fun on the side, you know.
Yeah.
It's not an either or.
No,
That's the thing.
it depends who you speak to. You know, you're going to get a lot of different opinions about how you should kind of do that. Certainly for me, the way everything's kind of moving forward now is all working fine, but that's with the day job and the investments on the side, you know.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So the very first taste of this property thing, how did that come about?
That's a funny story actually. So when I bought my first house, 2009, I think it was.
Right, okay.
It was just after the market's
So it
crashed.
came
and
out the
stuff.
crash,
Aye,
right.
tons of property on the market, nothing was selling, banks weren't lending, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I bought that house. It was a 3-bed semi-detached in a wee estate, Waterside Gardens, just kind of local of where I live.
Right.
And when I bought that house, there was a house across the road from me that was on the market at the same time as I bought mine.
Right.
Another kind of 6 months went by or whatever after I'd moved in, and this other property was still on the market.
It was still there.
And before that, I'd bought my own house, but even when I was buying my own house, I didn't really know what I was doing, you know.
Yeah.
It was just like my mum and dad said, right, use that solicitor, you know, this is how it works, and you know, sign some documents and away you go. But so I decided that it would, I don't know why, but I had this kind of, I don't know, just a desire to get involved in property. I seen it as a kind of sound investment. My mum and dad had some buy-to-lets as well.
Did they? Right, okay.
And I just thought, I'm going to go over and I'm just going to knock the door and I'm just going to see what the deal is, you know.
Right.
And so at this time, the property was offers over 115,000.
Right.
This one across the road.
Right.
So I went across the road and I knocked the door and I had a blether with the woman that was there and I just said, look, I've only got 20 grand and I never had a penny.
Right.
But I said I had 20 grand and I could only buy it for 80 because that was the 25% deposit, fees and all that, right?
Okay.
And you know, she politely told me to piss off and she wasn't interested in the proposal, you know. And I was like, okay, fine, I tried it, and you know, I had never bought an investment property anyway, so I wasn't that bothered that it didn't work out.
Sure.
But then another kind of few months went by or whatever, and the guy who was living in this property with this woman turned up at the door and just said, you know, if you're still interested in buying it, we're looking to sell it. And I was like, okay. So that was my first experience of an investment property. We got it all signed up, done the deal. Turned out that it was a guy and a girl who were married, but they were separated, and they both had different partners, and they were both living in this same house. And like the guy was like working night shifts and the woman was working day shifts, so they were like 12 hours between, you know. That's what ended up being the case. I didn't know that at the time, you know, but like that's what ended up being the story and why they decided, look, just get us out of this, and that was it, you know.
See some of the things you find out when you get involved in a deal, or it's just bonkers.
Mad. So, you know, so we ended up buying this property at a discount, and we didn't really have a clue what we were doing then. We managed it ourselves, we let it out. We had a lease and stuff in place, but I mean, whether it was a right lease or not, I don't know. And we just kind of, we did that, but what ended up happening was when we bought that property, we had it on a 3-year fixed term. So when it came to the refinance or the end of that 3-year fixed term, we just went to get another mortgage on it, and they you know, the provider was like, well, what's the rough value? And I was like, I don't know, you know. And then so we ended up just having a couple of conversations. Turned out that they valued it at something like 100 grand now.
Moved
we
up.
had it on a repayment mortgage, so we'd
Oh,
cleared
as well, did
because
you?
we didn't even know about interest only.
I see.
And so we ended up refinancing it, getting a bit of cash out, and then went and bought another one like 3-4 years later after this first one,
Right.
And so ended up buying another one round the corner, still in Waterside Gardens.
Right, okay. Oh
Turned
God,
out-
you're really staying local.
Oh, aye.
My
I mean,
goodness.
one was across the road, one was in the corner. Literally, you could walk a minute, and we thought, oh, it's good because you can keep an eye on them,
See, right.
And went to view this second property, and it turned out it was a guy I was at school with that was selling it, or so I thought. He was showing me around,
Right.
and he said, well, I think you'll get a good deal on this, Laurie. And I was like, what do you mean? And it turned out that they had already moved house. It was the builder of their new house had given them an incentive, and the builder had bought their house
Right.
as a part exchange thing, And so he says, it's the builder's already bought it. We're no bothered. I think if you put in an offer, you'll get it. So this one was worth 115,000. We put in an offer of some, I think it was like 90 initially.
Right.
They rejected it, but we ended up agreeing on 97.5.
Right, okay.
So we bought this other property at discount. Again, we're managing it ourselves and whatever. And then I think maybe another 2-3 years later or whatever, bought a third one, again, just round the corner. And so we ended up, but just because, again, the mortgage term end, we took some cash out, we bought another one. That's
just
what happened.
kept moving forward.
Aye, but
Wee
so
baby steps.
that was like 9 years or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
We got to 3 and just kind of accidentally, quite slowly, no strategy, nothing like
Aye.
that. And so we ended up having these 3 buy-to-lets, and that was how we got
That's
involved.
bonkers.
I know.
Absolutely bonkers.
And so then going back maybe a couple of years ago, whenever Clause 24 came in,
Oh.
it was like, this isn't interesting anymore. And it's a pain in the arse to have 3 properties managing them yourself.
So
and,
come on, open the books here. I mean, come
Aye.
on. What is that like for someone if they try and do it themselves?
Oh man, I used to tell them, don't use a letting agent, it's a waste of money, you can do it all yourself,
You can see the money disappearing each month.
See now, oh my God, I would never get, but it was funny because I had enough experience over that 9-year period of so many different issues and whatever, it was a very, very easy decision for me to say, when I realised I was going to continue investing in property, very easy to say, letting agent, take care of everything, I want nothing to do with this, worth their weight in gold, these guys.
Oh, the job they do is just remarkable. The headaches,
absolutely
hassles.
fantastic. It gives you a stress-free life, which I like,
And if you're in that I quadrant, that's what you're there for.
Absolutely.
When you invest, you don't want stress, you don't want hassles.
No.
Nice and simple, and I know what my returns are, and it's emotionless.
Yep.
All these things we talk about. If you're a classic investor, it's a no-brainer. Once you went, but you've physically went through the pain.
I've went through the pain, and I would definitely never do that again.
Right.
But so that was one of the reasons that we were then thinking of selling, between Clause 24 and the hassles we were having with managing tenants and all this kind of thing. We were like, we're just going to sell up. We'd done all right because we'd bought at discounts. We were just going to sell, take the cash out, and maybe pay off our home mortgage or something, or a big chunk of it anyway. Because we had this equity built up in these 3 properties, and that took us to about a couple of years ago, and then I heard of Team BMW.
Right. So how did that come about? Because I don't think I've even asked you that story. How did you just see like Paul online, for example, or?
I think
question.
the first time I ever heard, I don't know. Honestly, it's so long ago. But I think what happened was one of my mates, one of my best mates, in fact, he is a driller,
right,
and offshore, and he had lost his job. Because the oil price crashed whenever that was 3-4 years ago or something like that, and when it crashed, he got laid off.
Right.
And then he was looking for another way to make money or some, do something.
Sure.
Because he wasn't sure about the offshore.
Getting back into it.
Moving forward, what's going to be like, when's it going to recover all this?
Yeah.
So I think he had a conversation with Paul, going back maybe 3 years ago now.
Right.
And he had told me about it because I had properties and stuff. And,
right.
And I think that was the first time I'd ever even heard of Paul McFadden and the different things.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I think I'm going, but I remember one time I was in Finland. I was away working, because I need to travel to Finland and stuff.
Because your whole area is Scandinavia.
Aye, Scandinavia and Eastern Europe.
Is Finland in that then? Because I always thought it was, what is it, Norway, Sweden, Denmark?
Aye.
That's the three classics, isn't it?
Aye.
So is Finland totally separate?
Well,
is it considered?
Finland's next door to Sweden.
Right,
and
okay.
then Estonia's under Finland, and then Lithuania's under Estonia. So it's
God.
it ended up kind of, there was business coming for here and there. So I just ended up travelling a bit further,
just take it all
round the corner of Eastern Europe.
It's a bit like the portfolio you're building. What's the next country? What's the next one I'm taking over?
Aye, definitely.
Oh, I love it. Spain. Aye, let's go warmer. Aye, let's get away from those cold countries. My goodness.
Definitely, aye.
Oh,
so, I think when I was in Finland, I was driving and I had this call scheduled with Paul.
Right.
And this was the first time I'd ever spoken to Paul, actually.
Right.
And I remember at the time, I in my head, I was sure this was a complete scam.
Right.
I did not believe that you could buy property with no money and all the other things that everybody says you can do. I just never believed it.
Sure.
And I remember having this call with Paul as I was driving through a place called Nokia, actually. The phones.
Okay, with the phones.
Aye. So there is a place called Nokia in Finland. Apparently that's where they made the phones, or where the company started.
I tell you, you are learning a lot, viewers, by the way. You've got geography lessons here. Now we're getting into the background, the mobile phone companies. Good, but you keep it coming.
So, I already had this kind of picture in my head about this scam,
Yep.
And I remember Paul coming on and trying to tell me about what they were doing, and I was just so abrupt and just arrogant, and oh man, but it's so funny for me to look back now, but I was just in a very different place, I had these 3 buy-to-lets, thought that I was the man. I know how to invest in property. I've got 3 properties over 9 years, and and that's what I thought. That was what was in my head, and I really thought, who's this guy? Who are these guys trying to tell me? That's the way I was back then.
That's funny. Yeah.
And that was the first time I ever spoke to Paul myself. And then so safe to say that nothing ever happened after that photo. I think about 6 months went by, and then you ran the Jumpstart live event
right, okay.
in Glasgow 2017, maybe November 2017.
I don't even remember that one. There you go. Right, okay.
Something like that. And then after that, well, my property investment journey took quite a turn.
Right, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So was there anything on that day that changed your mind, or did you speak to someone? Were you questioning? Because I think it's great to go in with that.
Aye.
Is it cynical? Is it critical? I don't know what you would call the attitude, but I mean, I was exactly the same. Because, my God, personal-wise, from a full-time employment, I must have played about for about 2 years before doing anything really serious and proper. Just the same attitude. Don't know about that. Because I've got that engineer brain. I want to understand every low-level thing before I go into it. I want to be really standoffish. I don't want to be burned, all this kind of thing, before you jump into something.
And that's what everybody tells you as well, your family and friends, and they're only looking out for you and
of
stuff,
course.
And even when I talk now about things, I try and just help people and say, look, you need to kind of let that mindset go, because there's a whole world of opportunity there. But that's what people were saying to me, don't give these guys your money and it's a scam and all the rest of it,
Sure.
But no, at the Jumpstart live event, it was just the fact, my mind was blown on that day. It? Oh man, I mean, I remember I sat right in the front row and I had my notebook and stuff, and I mean, even when Billy kicked it off with the mindset stuff as he does, and I was like, wow, I love this. I've never even heard of mindset. What is this?
I see.
And climbing
Just
the
thought
mountain.
you were coming along to some boring property thing with a calculator and go to an auction. But was that the kind of approach?
I was standing outside talking to a guy, and we were having this conversation about how it's going to be a total scam.
Right.
Wait till you hear it. Wait till you hear it.
I like
Pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
I can't remember some of the other crap that we were talking about.
That's fantastic.
Even during or before, the event started, we were sitting talking to each other.
Already dismissing it. And then when Billy started talking, I was like, wow, like the way this guy's talking, about just going the extra mile and doing whatever it takes and all of that, which I always loved, but I'd never heard anybody
saying it, like talking that language, you know.
And especially in your own Scottish slang, tongue,
and
whatever you want to say it.
You
know, it's not like some American, car salesman or evangelist.
No,
you know, right? That's
just
good.
Normal guys, you know, mid 30s or early 30s at that time and whatever. And I was just like, wow, I'm loving this. Yeah. And then Paul started talking about all his. Going over the numbers and whatever, and I was like, I was struggling to keep up with writing down all these numbers, and I'm like, what? You know, honestly, my mind was blown, and at that point, I knew there's another world out here, you know, and I knew that there was an opportunity to change my life really, and yeah, it was after that I decided to enrol in Prodigy.
That's interesting. That's cool. I think it's so cool when we have those wee corner turning moments, you know. Myself, in fact, I think Paul talks about it as well a lot. For me, it was a live event as well, but it was with Harveka. It was Millionaire Mind Intensive, and I had never been to anything like that in my puff. You know, just the typical Scottish middle class family. Get yourself to college, you went to college, get yourself through school, get the grades, go to work, blah blah blah. That's it. Shut up. Just stay in your box. Stay in your lane. Who do you think you're talking to? There's a class system here in Britain. You can't do anything, pal. You know, just sit in your place, sit down, be quiet, don't ask questions. And then for whatever reason, through reading a wee bit, a book after a book after a book, and then going to maybe a networking event, then all of a sudden I went, I'm going to this. There's something about this guy's story, this Harvecker guy. I'm going to this. And it's down in London. Oh my God, what am I doing? And I need to pay for flights, and I need to, oh Jesus, you know, the Scotsman's counting up all the money here. Oh, wait a minute now. And I was the same. This is a scam. There's something pulling me towards them, but there's a background within me saying, what are you doing, you tube? But I weighed it up. I thought, see if it is a scam, I'm not losing too much. And I went, and it was the same as you. I was the front row, and I listened to it. Oh my God, my world has just been blown apart.
That was exactly what it was.
It's weird when that happens.
It was just that was the turning point in my life. Absolutely, fantastic. You know, because I still had these 3 buy-to-lets. I hadn't. I was still sitting on them,
so
and
they're still ticking along.
I was thinking I'm going to sell them and do this house thing or whatever I was going to do, pay off a bit of debt and stuff like that on the mortgage. You know, but I didn't know what I was going to do at that point. I just knew that, maybe property investing is for me. You know, after thinking about just canning it completely, you know. That was the turning point.
Okay, so then we jump into Protégé. And you do your live event. How was that for you?
Man, if you thought the Jumpstart live event was mind blowing, I remember coming home every night and getting back into the car every night, and I was just spaced.
Were you?
I was just like, this is mad. This whole world of opportunity had just unfolded in front of me. And I'd been searching for something like this for so long, you know. I wasn't really happy in my kind of, you know, when I used to work in the office. Like I work from home now, but
totally different. When you have that freedom.
And I was searching for something more, you know. And every single night I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was just, I just got back in the car, and before I know it, I was home. Because I was just totally spaced.
I love that.
And I knew that you know, there was a real opportunity here for life to change, and quite significantly. And so I mean, you know, for anybody that's not been on Prodigy, you've maybe got some kind of idea of it or something like that. But I don't think you can truly appreciate how much content is in there. You know, there was a Jumpstart live event recently, a month or so ago in Glasgow. And I was sitting there again thinking, like, I've forgotten so much of this stuff.
Really?
Oh man! I mean, it was like I'm not doing half the stuff I should be, and I forgot about that.
I mean, that's interesting.
Because I hadn't really done anything since Prodigy in terms of going to any events or anything like that. And when I went back to hear Paul talking again, I was just like, you know, there's so much in that. There's so much in the Jumpstart. When you go to Prodigy, it's like a whole other world, man. And so now I've got a lot more ideas.
Exactly. You now know why we call it intensive. It's just bonkers. And we've got one next week, of course, in here as well, which is, we're looking forward to the new offices, get the new folks in. That'll be tremendous.
Definitely.
So you go through that, you do the Protégé stuff. Where does your mind then take you? Because if you've got a guy like Paul McFadden talking at the front, and he's got my God, he's got more strategies and tactics than you can fill inside a book. It's just ridiculous. Even though he's got a book, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Where does your mind then go? Because you're inside that e-box, that employment box. You're inside that investor box already. You've got your 3 buy-to-lets. What's Laurie Duncan then thinking? What's he then going to be doing?
Yeah, sold them all immediately within within the space of about 6 months.
Was it?
Yeah. Started buying properties at discounts.
Right.
Using my letting agent.
Brilliant.
Build it. I never had one till then, like just met this guy, and he's been my letting agent since. Great guy.
It's great when you find a perfect person in your power team.
Got in with Blair and started buying properties, building up the cash flow and stuff like that.
We'll give him a wee shout out then. So what area does Blair work at? Is this up in Falkirk?
He used to cover central Scotland until I started doing a bit of property sourcing. So now he's whole of Scotland.
He's everywhere.
From Aberdeen through Kerrymuir, Ardrossan and Newcombe. So I don't know if he really enjoys it that much. He's up in Aberdeen.
Should we not give him a plug?
No, he's a great guy, and he's expanding his team as well. Blair Miller. If anybody wanted to, I'll put them in touch with him if anybody's interested in it.
Is it just his name? Has he got a company name?
I think he operates under MEM, Maintenance and Management.
Property. There we go, brilliant.
Maintenance and Management Property Investment Limited, I think it is.
Right, there you go, Blair. A wee shout out. That's how we work in PMW. We're not that kind of greedy take. We just love talking about good people, especially when someone like Laurie finds someone and he can tell other people, no, listen, this guy's a real deal.
Yeah.
We love sharing that kind of information, so good on you.
Definitely,
brilliant. Okay, so Blair's in.
So Blair's in looking after my properties. I've only ever been to see my properties once, maybe twice max. I just concluded on one in Aberdeen on Friday there that I've actually never been to see.
Fantastic.
Good or bad, I don't know. We'll find out. Blair's up there, then.
As long as someone's seen it, that's the thing, isn't it? As long as someone's seen it. We never tell people just buy stuff willy-nilly.
No. I was comfortable with that situation, the one I was buying for myself, and I saw the pictures, I saw the home report, the guy I was dealing with was a good guy and all that, so I could tell that was all kind of going to be cool.
Brilliant.
We'll find out maybe later on today if it is or not.
Is that right?
But Blair's up there just now because we've got viewings organised, and again, he's been to pick up the keys, he's up in Aberdeen, he's doing the viewings, all this kind of stuff.
And you're sitting here stress-free.
I'm sitting here chilling out, having an interview with Richard Scott.
This is the way an investor should work, and business owner should work.
Oh, it's crazy, and so started buying these properties and building up cash flow, and then I got to, I think it was 6 properties or 7 properties.
Right.
And then I had never done any refinance on any of them.
Right.
And I refinanced the Kerrymuir one. And I got, I paid 40 grand cash for that. That was the one that was valued at 90. Bought it for 40.
Right. That's fantastic. So you see, I love the way you throw that away, because when we go through Protégé, when we're working with PMW, it's like, I got this and I get that and I get 20 grand profit and I've done such. It's because it's like second nature to us. But someone listening in just now, they'll be rewinding that. They'll have stopped the car, but did that guy just say the property was 90 and he got it for 40? Did he just say that? How the hell is that possible? But this is real, isn't it? Because you're in those trenches. You're a property pro. This is why I have you on, because this stuff happens.
That is one property out of the so since doing Protégé, I've got 8 that I own myself.
Right.
And I'm concluding on another 1 in the next couple of weeks. I've got 3 in a joint venture, one of which is an HMO. We're concluding on another HMO in that joint venture in the next 4 weeks or so. And there's another joint venture with another 1 in it. So however many that is, I don't know, I think it's about 14, 15 or something. But it's second nature now, because this is just what I'm doing.
It's just what you're doing.
Like I'm just a guy who's come on this course, who's learned the content and is applying what he's been taught.
There's the word, applying. You are actually taking the action. Because someone can get Paul McFadden's book, big deal, that's great, nice book, dead interesting. If you put that in the mantelpiece, nothing's going to happen. There's no money coming into the bank account. It's someone like you who's got the work ethic, who's got the drive, the dedication, you're taking the action, magic happens. That's fantastic. I love that.
So out of all these properties, I've only refinanced 1.
Right.
This year is going to be a massive year.
Is it?
Because there's so much stuff that I've got lined up
Right.
You know, after I move into this house for a lot of different reasons, you know. After I move into this house, because I'm in the middle of moving house just now, and
this is your own house.
This
is your own residential
house.
place. Here we go. Your wee palace. Fantastic.
It's going to be amazing when we're in there in a couple of weeks. Well, Friday the 31st of May we conclude on that.
Brilliant.
And after that, there's so many things I've got lined up just to start happening. And they've been on hold. We've been living at my mum and dad's. Life's been a bit topsy-turvy for a while, you know, because we sold our house on the 10th of February.
Right.
But again, this is all part of the master plan and having something that, you know, we used to just dream of. Big, massive house, massive garden, brand new, minted inside. You know,
fantastic.
It's superb, you know.
They're the nice wee bits, I think, you know, when we're ticking along that investment quadrant and it starts to leak into our personal world, that we can help a family member do such and such, or we can take another holiday off with the kids, or we can build our dream home, whatever. They're the things that, this is why.
Well, you know, having, firstly, the mentorship from the guys is second to none. You know, they say things, just the way they talk really keeps me pushing forward all the time.
Yeah.
But having this portfolio, producing cash flow, passive cash flow, made me realise, hey, you can go and get that if you want.
Yeah.
So go and get it.
Love it.
And hey, if you hit some bumps along the way, make it work.
Let's deal with the bumps, exactly.
Absolutely.
These things will pop up.
But I feel
Talk to me about the HMO. I'm going to drag you off on a wee tangent.
Yeah.
So how did that come about, and what's your kind of thoughts and feelings around the whole HMO industry and opportunities?
Well, honestly, not really got a clue about them, right?
No,
so
really?
never. We tried to buy. So this is in the joint venture with my mate Alex Robertson, who's another great guy who I'm doing a lot of cool stuff with, and you know, we tried to buy this a year ago. It was on the open market.
Right.
And for whatever reason, we ended up not being able to conclude on this.
Right.
Somebody else bought it.
Right.
Then somebody else sold it to somebody else. And then this other person put it up for auction. And so we ended up buying it, well, 2 months ago now. And it was at auction, but we agreed to buy it before it went to auction, so it's not like we sat there and bid on it.
Sure.
We just had an idea of what was workable for us, you know. So yeah, that was valued at 80. We bought it for 52.
Right.
And that property in particular was currently it used to be an HMO apparently, but it had been neglected and it hadn't been run right and whatever.
Right.
But so we took it on. We're in the middle of refurbing it now.
Are you? Right. Okay.
Another maybe 2 to 3 weeks and we should all be done, have the licence, all of that stuff, you know.
How many units inside it? How's it kind of split up?
Currently it's 5,
it's 5,
but we're doing a conversion to 6, so it's going to be 6 bedroom, 2 shower room, communal kitchen and living area, but we're potentially, I just asked this morning actually about potentially using one of the biggest bedroom as a double room, so we can potentially have 7 guests. But we've got adverts up just now, and we've had a bit of interest at 150 quid per room per week.
Right.
Times 6.
Oh, come on.
You know, awesome cash flow.
Fantastic.
Cash flow like I've never. This is the first one, right? So we've not actually made any money out of it yet.
Sure.
But once that's up and running, we reckon it's going to be a really successful venture. You know, and bizarrely, in fact, at the weekend, Billy was talking about. Law of attraction only follows action, right?
Yes.
Now that really hit home with me because we had a nightmare trying to secure that property. After we agreed to buy it and it was accepted by the seller, the solicitors informed us that we had to close in 9 days. Now they never told us this before that. We were expecting standard 28 days at auction, right?
Of course.
And then there was all these costs coming out everywhere. Now we had a hell of a time trying to get that over the line, and if it didn't conclude, then they took ownership back, then it went back to auction and blah blah blah. So we were going to lose our deposit, which was about 10 grand plus fees and all of this. So there was plenty of action going on there to make that happen, right? But the second HMO we're buying is the one across the close from this.
Crying out loud. What is it with you staying everything close together?
It's mad the way it worked out because we would not have had that opportunity. So now what we're looking to do is buy this other one across the close, which is a complete shell of a building.
Is it?
Actually, it needs like the full works. I mean, this is like walking into some for the 1920s.
Wow.
There's a big project to happen there, but ultimately what we're going to end up with is rather than just having 6 rooms in one property, we'll have 12 rooms across the 2 properties.
Wow.
And it'll be fully done to like high specification, just the way we want it. And,
Right.
you know, we need to go through the whole planning thing and
Of course.
all of that, you know. But so now we're looking at having 12 rooms at 150 quid
Wow.
a week. So that's going to be,
that's a whole new game for you, isn't it?
that's going to be awesome.
Because if you rewind to the start of our chat, 3 properties over like, what was it, 9 years or something?
I know, 9
now
years.
you're throwing up 12 rooms together.
I know. I was thinking about this
I
just this
love
morning.
that.
It was like 12 months ago since I really kicked everything off, you know.
Yeah.
January was Protégé, and then by the time I got different things set up, it was like April, I was ready to rock and roll, you know. So 12 months and, well, what's that, like, 14,
It's
15
ridiculous.
properties roughly, you know. And man, if we can do the same again this year,
Yeah.
man,
Come on.
game changer stuff.
I love this. This is
So-
fantastic.
It's totally awesome, really is. Yeah.
What's been the most enjoyable part of the journey? What's been the kind of, you know, if you had to look back, because there's loads going on, there's loads happening, there's
Yeah.
wee individual moments, there's milestones, there's
Yeah.
things happening in the personal world with the house,
Yeah.
there's things happening with trying new things on the HMO front.
Yeah.
What would you pick out?
2 things, and they probably go hand in hand. One is the challenge of it all. Love
Right,
it.
really?
Can't get enough of that.
Really?
Right? I love challenges.
Right.
But with challenges come a hell of a lot of problems, but with problems comes learning, you know?
Yes.
And I love to learn. I
like
love
that.
to learn, and I've always kind of learned. I'd never listened to audiobooks or podcasts or anything like this, and it's funny because I listen to them all the time now for self-development, you know. But before that, I was like reading technical specifications for my day job type stuff.
See, okay.
or
so
or
reading
whatever.
was a chore, reading was a job, right?
I
okay.
hated reading, but I wanted to learn, and
Yeah.
so I was kind of doing that. But now, yeah, I am able to. Every single day, I'm challenged to another level. There's always new stuff coming on, you know.
Love it.
And I just like how much I'm learning now. Again, if you look back since I did the project course, there is so much stuff that I've learned.
Yeah.
And I love it. I'm
And
just
you
a new
enjoy
guy.
it,
You know,
see,
just
that's
a new guy.
great.
Yeah.
Because that is a real tribe, a real community of people who are what we always call ourselves, lifelong learners.
Absolutely.
None of us are finished.
Yeah.
None of us are experts. None of us are closed boxes.
No.
We're just, what's that? What's this? What's that? And you'll share a story, you'll share a course, you'll share a book, you'll share something you've learned. You're like, oh man, right, I'm going down that rabbit hole. That's
you know,
fantastic.
and
We get a real buzz from that.
Aye, but it's funny though, again, back to my conversation with Paul McFadden and Nokia in
Yeah.
2016 or whatever it was, that I was that guy who
And
just
you were
believed-
that closed book.
I was.
You were that
I was.
expert.
And imagine I never just opened my eyes and ears to the possibility.
That's
Imagine
so
I
true.
didn't do that.
Right, that
and
fork in the
So
road.
many people don't, right?
Yeah.
And imagine I never did that. Like, what would I be doing now? Where would I be?
Yeah.
You know, that's a scary thought for me.
That is quite scary,
That's
actually.
a scary, scary thought. But thankfully I did. And yeah, it's just been, I think I used the word whirlwind there.
Yeah.
at the
Right,
jump
so
start.
challenges, learning, brilliant. What was the second thing then?
Oh no,
What would you
sorry, it
pick
was the
out?
challenges and the learning.
Is that what it is? Is
Because
that how
the
you would
learning
split
goes
it
with the
out?
challenge.
Right, okay,
I mean,
okay.
obviously there's there's so many other things I could say right now. You know,
Yeah.
the financial stuff. You know, the profits. I mean, you know, I think we've only touched on the numbers very briefly. You know, in
Yeah.
the Kerrymuir deal, but you know that one alone was a 25 grand profit.
Fantastic.
You know, and one property. But
One
it's
property, you
It's
know?
been making me like what 300-400 quid a month since I bought it, you know. So the refinance thing was like on top of that. You
Was
know?
it?
Aye, and as I say, I've only done one refinance. I mean, there's just so much stuff that I've got to get my teeth into.
See, again, someone will be pressing rewind on that. What did that get? How much profit did that guy
Yeah,
say?
yeah.
How much per month?
Yeah, I'll
It's
repeat it.
just fantastic.
£25,000
25 grand.
on one property.
Love
out
it.
of all the 14 or whatever I've got,
Yep.
or that I'm involved in. Insane,
Yeah.
just insane. But
Talk to me about collaboration. Talk
Yeah.
to me about joint ventures.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. You know, should we? No, Laurie. We should be doing it ourselves.
No.
We should be keeping all the money ourselves. You know, we shouldn't share. Cutting off your nose. Don't do that. Just, you know, what would you say to someone with that mindset?
that is, that has been a complete game changer for me. My mate Alex that I mentioned, Alex Robertson.
Yes.
That's who we are joint owners. of a company called We Buy Property Scotland Limited.
Right.
And we've got the 3 in the joint venture, and we're buying this other, the 4th one, which is including the 2 HMOs.
Right.
And we have learned so much from each other. It's crazy, you know. And I was always kind of put off joint ventures before.
Right.
Just because my dad was in business and he got his fingers burnt a few times actually, you know, and again just looking out for me, like stay away for that, you know, focus on your own stuff and whatever, and they can get a bit messy and all of that kind of thing if they're not structured right and whatever.
Yeah.
But me and Alex, we've been mates for years anyway, you know, and so we both feel very comfortable with doing business with each other and whatever. We're both really hard workers and stuff, and I mean, but there's everything that I'm doing on my own and Alex is doing on his own, and the stuff we're doing together. There's so much stuff, so many things in there that we wouldn't have got involved in if it wasn't for us both kind of just sharing ideas and talking about things.
Exactly, brainstorming, talking about different options.
It's incredible, you know. There's so much that we've done that has come from just communication. What about this? What about this? What about this? We sit and communicate all day, every day by WhatsApp. What about this? What about, you know, back and forward. Brilliant. And I would never have thought that I would be in a joint venture at all, to be honest.
Yeah. But
there is so much value in that. I cannot stress that enough for anybody that's thinking about doing a joint venture or some kind of collaboration with somebody. And obviously there's a lot of that goes on in the property world, you know.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And that's been a game changer as well.
Right.
That's because I don't think we would have bought the HMO if it wasn't for us both doing it.
Yes.
Then I don't think we would have got this other one if we hadn't got this first one. And
just these doors just keep opening for you.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That. Every time you do something new, you learn a whole range of stuff that you can then go and apply and just grow, develop, and it goes in all sorts of directions, you know.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
Now, excuse me, I want to be respectful of your time. Let's talk about the future.
Sure.
So we've had the history.
Yeah.
We've had the fascinating stuff that's going on just now. I mean, if that's no encouragement for people to take a step into the world, I don't know what will be.
I know.
What's ahead for you?
Whoa,
what do you see? I mean, my goodness.
Well, I've got a lot of crazy goals and objectives, you know. One of which is to own a pack of 5 German Shepherds.
Okay.
I want they'll call me Crazy Dog Guy. I'm sure in my new house. But yeah, I want a pack of 5 German Shepherds. I've seen one of these things recently where it's like a hidden pool, and it looks like a deck, and then you push the button and it converts into a pool, and you can have it at different lengths. If it's like the kids playing in it, you know, it's shallower, and the pool comes and fills up, and you know, it's going to cost a fortune. But anyway, that's one of the objectives, and so I'm working on achieving these goals, you know. But really, I want to build something that is going to be a lasting legacy for me and for my family. You know, me and Emma got married last year. You know, we're hopefully starting a family this year, maybe next year. And I want to grow something to allow her, if she wants to work, then fine. If she doesn't want to work, then I don't want her to feel like she has to work, and I want her to be able to be around the kids and whatever as they're growing up. If she chooses to do that, she might choose her career and stuff. And
of course,
we can do both and whatever.
Aye. So it's the freedom angle, the options,
freedom, flexibility. Yeah. And yeah, I just want to. I don't know. I've got a lot of crazy ambitions. I want to build a skyscraper.
Oh,
and
really?
I've never even built a house. I've never bought a piece of land. I only dealt with an architect for the first time about a month ago. Something like that. So
why not?
I mean, I'm just on a crazy mission now. You know.
That's fantastic.
I want to help people. I hope this can help people. I really do. You know.
Yeah.
I did a thing recently just for my birthday. It was on Facebook as the ocean cleanup, and it was it just come up on my profile thing saying, you know, start a fundraiser.
Right.
And so I started it. I'd never done anything like that before, and I hate what's going on in the ocean and all these innocent, all the sea life that's been affected by that, you know. And who are we as the human race to go and affect the rest of the world? You know, I hate that. But anyway, so I started this fundraiser, and I'd never done it before. It came up saying set a goal of 50 quid. So I just said, right, okay, and then rapidly it had went up to like 50, 60, 70, 80 quid or whatever, you know. Right. And I was like, right, quality, I'm up in the goal to £1,000.
Right.
And a few posts over the course of 7 to 10 days ended up raising £1,024 for the ocean cleanup.
Come on.
And see, being able to do things like that and just give back, help people, contribute to charities, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I love all of that.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of that. And the more that I've kind of built up my own kind of financial freedom position, the more time I'm going to have to go and make positive changes like that. So loads of different
quality
stuff.
That's inspiring. I like that, and you're not uncommon in the wee protege community saying stuff like that. I love that. Yeah, because it's not about selfishness, it's not about greed, it's not about money after money, because you do see these things, and I think that's why, going right back to what you said at the start, that's why people think about scams and think about pyramid schemes, and no, it doesn't have to be that way. Life doesn't have to be that way.
No.
You know, improve yourself, learn more, open your eyes more. Get more options, look at being a business owner, look at investing. Doesn't even have to be property, you know, look at something else. But make your life better, make people around you better, and then it just grows, doesn't it?
Definitely.
It just grows, and all of a sudden you're talking about the plastic in the ocean.
Exactly.
Or getting German Shepherds. My goodness, fantastic, my man. I have absolutely loved this conversation. I'm positive the listeners, the viewers have got a lot out for this. We'll put all your links and stuff in the show notes, of course. Is there anything just offhand you can say to connect with you? What was the name of the company again?
Well, I do most stuff by email, really, which is just Laurie Duncan at Emandel Properties, but nobody can ever spell it. So it comes from Emma and Laurie, but it's Emandel, emandelproperties.co.uk. But to be honest, I'm using social media a lot more now as well, so if you check out LinkedIn or Facebook, Laurie's Laurie. You'll find me there. Connect, hit me up. We'll meet up and stuff. I love meeting new people and seeing what we can do together. So
fantastic. Well, for your time today, thanks a million.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Cheers. There
we go, folks. There we go. What a character. What a property pro that we've dragged into the spotlight. But all the stuff, all the links through to hook in with Laurie, ask him questions, talk about joint ventures. Maybe you've got an opportunity for him, that kind of stuff. Hook back into the show notes and you'll be able to see the man himself. But until the next time on This Week in Property, goodbye.